happens here?
Rod Rosenstein never denies that he made mention of wearing a wire on the president. Best case scenario, that was a joke, and a wholly inappropriate joke for him to make in front of subordinates and colleagues. So I don't think it's enough to just bring the documents in. We need Rod Rosenstein under oath before the Judiciary Committee. Articles of impeachment have been filed against Rosenstein. Under House rule, those have now ripened to the point where any one member of Congress can force a vote on Rod Rosenstein's impeachment. And if Rosenstein is not in the witness chair this week, Mark Meadows and I are prepared to call for that vote on an impeachment. May keep the House in session a little longer than we're currently planning, but I think we've got to hear directly from him under oath.
Have you had any response yet?
Well, we've asked Chairman Goodlatte to do that. You've seen what he said to the American people, that he wants the documents, but just reading Andrew McCabe's notes are insufficient. Andrew McCabe is a known liar. We need to understand from Rosenstein and from the people in the room why the Deputy Attorney General of the United States felt it was appropriate to even joke about wearing a wire on the president while he's supposed to be overseeing an investigation that obviously involves the president.
Perhaps it was just sarcasm.
Well, let's assume it is. I think that we can't just take that at face value, Bill. We've got to get people under oath. I want Lisa Page, Scott Schools, other people who were in that meeting to share with us the context and the understanding. This is not something to joke about. When this president is facing all of these threats internally and externally, he does not deserve to have his own Deputy Attorney General joking about wearing a wire on him. That is so inappropriate. And you know what? If we don't get him in the witness chair this week, we may be taking a vote on his impeachment.
Mike Pompeo had some words for Rod Rosenstein.
You're willing to go that far?
No, I'm saying if we don't get answers, here's the problem right now. Under the current structure of our House calendar, they're planning on sending us home after Friday and saying just stay home in your district and campaign through the November election. There are some things more important than elections, like getting to the truth and finding out if there are people in President Trump's administration who are working against him or sowing this discontent.
How many votes could you get if that's the route you want to take?
I don't know. Look, I don't want to take a vote on Rosenstein's impeachment. I want him in the witness chair, but we cannot just continue to kick the ball down the road and have low energy oversight in the House.
And you've issued a formal statement asking for such from the Judiciary Committee, but you want that this week. I don't know that that was detailed in your...
Well, look, if we don't do it this week, Sandra, it won't happen until after the election because they're sending us home. There's not going to be any legislative business done in October. Members of Congress of the House won't even be in Washington in October. They plan to do this omnibus.
You must already know how they're going to respond to this, though.
Hey, listen, I don't ever know anything until we throw it out there, but the fact that Mark Meadows and I are very serious about calling for a vote on impeachment if we don't get Rosenstein in the chair, I think it's going to get a lot of people's attention.
Mike Pompeo was asked to respond to Rod Rosenstein and these allegations, and he had this to say.
I've been pretty clear since my beginning of service here in this administration. If you can't be on the team, if you're not supporting this mission, then maybe you just ought to find something else to do.
I think that's consistent with what General Mattis said, which is that not only would he not hold any views that are contrary to the goals of the administration, he would not even tolerate the expression of those views at the Pentagon. So if that's the standard at the Department of Defense, why would it ever be acceptable at the Department of Justice to be joking around about destabilizing the presidency?
We had Devin Nunes here on Friday for a long time, and he was rather encouraged by the fact that he thought the president was going to release these documents that had not yet gone public. And then right after that interview, we get the word from the president of the White House that he's not willing to push it as fast as you or others would like. Well, why the change of mind on behalf of
I think people convinced the president that Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, is currently doing an investigation. That investigation will lead to all of these documents being public anyway. I would like all the cards to be face up on the table a lot sooner, but I do have great confidence that the Inspector General plays it straight. Even though he's an Obama appointee, even though he's a Democrat, so far the Inspector General's been very honest and very revealing.
But if the documents are that revealing, why sit on them?
I don't think that the documents have like a smoking gun in them. I think that it's what they don't include. I think the fact that it was never disclosed to the FISA court, that you had Bruce and Nellie Orr, sort of the Bonnie and Clyde of collusion, shuttling this information from Russians that wanted to tell lies about the president into the bloodstream of the intelligence community. The fact that that wasn't disclosed is, I think, bigger than some of the express disclosures in those documents.
We'll see if it happens. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Bill.